Welcome back YouTube. My name is Dennis Panuta for tutorials.eu. In this video we are going to look at opening files. Therefore I'm going to create a new Jupyter notebook and I'm gonna call it read files. And it's important that you have a read.txt file if you want to go ahead with the code, that you have a text file with some text, it doesn't matter what the text is, in the same folder as the file of your Jupyter notebook, because we're going to read that particular file, that text file. So I'm gonna call this one 0607 read files. And in order to read a file, I can simply do the following. So I'm gonna create a new variable, which I'm gonna call file. And that one will store the result of the open function. So there's a function called open, and it takes two arguments. One of the arguments is to the name of the file as a string. So in my case, it's read.txt. As I said, it's really important that it has exactly the name that you are entering there. So if you have used a different name for a text file, then you need to enter a different name here as well. And afterwards, you need to tell it how it should open it. And I'm just entering an R standing for read. So it should open the text file and it should read the text file. So that's what this line of code says. Now in the next line, I want to read every single line of that text file. So for line in lines, or in file actually, in file, I want to go ahead and print that line. So let's just run the code, and as you can see, we have this hello world and we have this I am a new line. And if we check the text file again, you can see that there's hello world 1 2 3 and I am a new line. But as you can see, there is no additional line in there. So why is there this additional empty line in my print statement? Because for example, if I just print something like hello, and in the next line, I'm gonna add print world.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe and like the video.
If I just print that, as you can see, there is no additional empty line in between. So it's just the hello and just the world line. So what that exactly is going wrong here? Well, there is something that this print statement automatically does for us, and that is to create a new line. So it just creates a line break. And in order to create a line break manually, we need to do something with a backslash. And there's something called a backslash. So you can use a backslash and then an N. What the backslash does is it escapes the next character. So what this will do, it will create a new line break, but this N and this backslash will never actually be executed or displayed on the screen. So let's have a look at that. As you can see, hello world is printed on the screen now. And that is because we create this line break. And the thing is, we have a line break in our read.txt already. So there is a line break in between here, between the I and the exclamation mark. There is a line break. And as you can see, there is this blue area here. And this print statement creates a line break itself as well. So how do we get rid of this line break? Well, in order to get rid of it, let's first of all look at something. So I can go ahead and print, instead of just printing the line, I can say something like line -1. So what that will do is it will give me the last character of that particular line that we're looking at. And if we look at the text file once again, we can see that there is a exclamation mark here. That's what is printed here. But for some reason, this exclamation mark is not printed here anymore. That is because after this exclamation mark, there's actually another enter or another line break. So that's why we only have this empty area here. So actually here are 3 lines, as you can see. So 1, 2, and 3. And it gives me the last element of my line, and that is actually a line break. So I can even check if it's a line break. I can do something like, is it a line break? And I do it like that. And now you can see the first line of my file, it's true. So the last element of the line is actually a line break. And in the second line, it's not true. So let's check it out again. In this line, it's true because afterwards there is a line break, and in that line, it's not true because there is an exclamation mark following. All right, so in order to get rid of that, we can use something called strip. So we can use line dot strip. So there's this function called strip. Now let's check it out again. And as you can see, we get hello world 1, 2, 3, and then in the next line, I am a new line. So strip gets rid of these line breaks and keeps everything nice and clean. Why is that relevant? Well, if you read through files, it very often is the case that you need to have it in a specific format, and forcing it into a specific format, for example, with a function like strip, is going to be very handy, especially as you want to do something with the text later on or with the file that you get. So for example, you get a bunch of numbers, then you want to run the numbers correctly and not have the problem of having line breaks in between. So it's always good to know how to handle your things. Great, so in the next video we're going to see how to write a file, because so far we only read one. In the next one we will check out how to write into one. So see you there.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please leave a like. And if you have any questions or suggestions, then leave a comment. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. And by the way, if you really love the content and you would like to have more of it, or pretty much all of it, then of course, check out the link in the description to my whole course. See you in the next video.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.